All right. Well, welcome everyone to the Saturday. Well, I guess it's a Super Saturday. It's always a Super Saturday. Training. My name is Dr. Steve. I'll be your host today. It's always a pleasure and honor to, bring these nuggets, I will call them, and words of wisdom, and do my best to motivate and inspire. But what we're going to learn today, it's not about motivation and inspiration. It's really about consistency. It's about execution, and this is a continuation from our previous trainings on performance and execution. But I'm going to take it in a different direction today. I'm going to share my screen, and then we'll jump right into it here all this stuff out of the way. So in the previous trainings, we talked a little bit about um, uh, we talked a little bit about the power of execution, and if we were to break down execution in, I'll say more bite-sized pieces, meaning as we plan out our year, and my focus mainly was on 2026, and we're still in the beginning of 2026, the first month, third week into the month. So it's still a lot of time, right? We've got a whole year ahead of us. But don't let that fool you, because this year is going to go by very quickly, like the 2025, right? And I shared whatever your plans are, your dreams are, your goals are, whatever it may be, your aspiration, it could be, you're in a network marketing company and you want to expand, you've got 10 members, you want to go to 100, to 1,000, to 10,000, 100,000, a million, it's all possible, right? It's a mindset. But with that mindset come discipline, consistency, and execution. It all goes hand in hand. We're going to talk about that today. And so I shared whatever that blueprint or that roadmap looks like. Okay. Don't overwhelm yourself. Work it backwards. So break it up by the year and then take that and chop it up in 12 months, right? And then take that, chop it up into 52 weeks. And then take that and chop it up into 365 days. And then each day is what we're going to focus on. And I use the analogy of building a house, a brick house, of course. But if each day you lay one or two bricks, the end of the week, you might have a nice side of the wall of one wall built. By the end of the month, you probably got all four walls built. You see what I'm saying? 2 months, 3 months. So it's not overwhelming because you're taking small steps. It's like eating a nice juicy steak, right? You don't take the whole steak and shove it in your mouth and choke yourself with it. No. You cut it up in little bite-sized pieces and savor the flavor, right? That's what we're talking about. So consistency wins. How to stop starting over and finally following through. Because this is where we all get stuck, right? Is we keep starting over and starting over and starting over, and we get nowhere in life. So let's look at how we could make this a reality for you and I. Okay. So why some people reach their goals and others give up. And the key, consistency, discipline, and a skill of showing up. See, this session is not about motivation, like I said, and it's definitely not about inspiration. It's about training consistency and discipline as a skill. I'll repeat that again. It's about training. Think about this. You're training consistency and discipline as a skill. So, you know, make everything, or just say everything is practical and usable immediately. What I'm going to share with you. Okay. Why do some people reach their goals while others quit? That's a question, we need to ask ourselves. Why do some people achieve what is set forth to achieve, others attempt, but then they quit? I mean, they're same objectives, right? But it isn't about luck. It isn't about talent, and it definitely isn't about motivation. It's perseverance, and that's the key. See, the ability to show up every single day, no matter how you feel, no matter what's happening around you. And yes, staying consistent is hard. I know this. I know this for a fact, right? I got to force myself at times. See, that's why consistency isn't something you wait for. It's something you train, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Most people start with excitement, They write their goals down. I do. I've got papers with goals and dreams, everything written down, right? They promise change, and then life pushes back. You guys know what I'm talking about. You wake up with excitement and then life happens, right? I mean, cold mornings, stressful days, rejections, right? That they postpone. But let me tell you guys something. Not because they're weak, right? That's not why, because there's a formula into all this, but because they build their plans on emotions instead of commitment. You see, it's just like making a decision. If you make an emotional decision, I guarantee you it's always going to be the wrong decision. But when you step back and think about it and you process, scenario A, scenario B, the pros and cons of a decision you're about to make, take the emotion out of it. You'll make a more logical and a more wise decision. See, most people assume success comes from intelligence, talent, or luck. I got a question for you. Think honestly about the people you know who are successful. And you know a lot of them, right? Most of them are not extraordinary. They're not consistent. Well, they are consistent, but if you believe success is luck, you're wrong. You'll wait. And if you believe it's talent, you you will definitely doubt yourself. Like, me thinking about it's all about talent. It's not about talent at all. But if you believe it's consistency, you can train it. See, because consistency is key. Like this year, like I shared with you in the last training, I had to literally discipline myself and create new habits, right? Get rid of old habits and look at, okay, what new habits could I create? So each day I'm laying that brick, one or two or three bricks. What habits do I need to change? What do I need to do by disciplining myself? Meaning, okay, getting up, making up your bed before you go do anything, right? Maybe you don't do it. Some of you might be disciplined to do that. That's a skill that I had to like force myself, train myself, right? So that's that one little task. Just little changes that I started making of each day and it's progression too. Because the thing about it is this, right? You have to sit back and assess your daily routine. Okay. Once you do that, once you assess your daily routine, it's out of the way here. This is blocking my way. Once you assess your daily routine and you say, okay, this is distracting me, that is distracting me, or maybe you wake up, the first thing you do is you grab your phone and start scrolling through social media. And think about it for a second, guys. And if you're honest with yourself, before you know it, a half an hour and a half is gone. You're like, whoa. And then if you had something to do that was very important and you scrolled away an hour of your time, you're very, very disappointed with yourself. Isn't that true? So if you ever started strong and faded because of poor habits, this training is definitely for you, right? This is not a motivation. And we're going to go right through it now. It's all about this training, perseverance. This is the key right here, right? Perseverance is not intensity. It's not pushing hard once, right? It's about laying that brick one day at a time. It's continuing when things feel boring, slow, and uncomfortable. Perseverance doesn't mean ignoring life. It means refusing to disappear when life gets inconvenient. How many of us, don't want to face a problem or a challenge and we just kind of hide from it. We wait and hope it goes away. You know what I'm talking about, right? No, you got to face it. See, showing up regardless of mood or circumstances. Perseverance isn't dramatic. It's quiet. It's boring, but guess what? It works. It really works because you've got to push yourself, right? You can't expect anybody else to push you. A lot of us, we wait and we want people to, probe us and push us and motivate us and inspire us. No, guys, you've got to develop habits that's going to help you go into motion for yourself. And we talk about, is your why big enough to help push you in that direction, the direction you need to go in? See, inspiration is like the wind. How many of us gets inspired? We may go to a church service, or we go to Tony Robbins events, or we go to some inspiring event, and we're inspired and we're motivated. And, oh my God, I can take the world, right? It comes fast, but it leaves faster. Guarantee you, I've been there. I've been there. So you can't build a future on inspiration. You can't. But you can build one on steady action, one day at a time. Just repeat it day after day after day, guys, day after day. You got to discipline yourself. You really have to. Because consistency isn't loud and it doesn't announce itself, but it's the foundation of every lasting success. See, when you act consistently, something powerful happens. You begin to trust yourself. You start feeling good about yourself. Every promise you keep, and every time you show up, despite resistance, guys, you send a quiet message to your mind. I'm someone I can rely on. Think about that for a second. And once you can trust yourself, everything changes because you stop waiting for motivation. You stop depending on your mood. You become one who moves first. You take action. You're action taker. You take the initiative to make things happen. Right? Look at anyone that is truly successful, like athletes. One come to mind right away, Michael Jordan. If you listen to his biography or any other greats, these guys, they push themselves. They practice when no one's seeing, right? Writers that are up all night. Leonardo da Vinci, burning the candle midnight into the morning, writing. Builders, right? Do you think they feel inspired every day? Of course not. They show up anyways. And that's the difference. Progress doesn't come from one big effort. It comes from small actions repeated long enough to compound. And we all know about compounding. This year for me has been so different, and I was sharing this with someone earlier that man, the destiny is like pulling me like a tunnel. I can't. I got to literally force myself to go to sleep now. Literally, I mean, I get so involved and engaged with, writing, and my mind is just working overtime, and because for me now it's like life and destiny is have become urgent, right? Getting messages across has become urgent because again, I realize that all the years of like, we talk about motivation and inspiration and relying on people and guys, it will fail you unless you take action for yourself, you see? Because motivation fails. Consistency can depend on feelings. And we can't get caught up in our feelings. A lot of us get caught up in our feelings. And that's, you're basically setting yourself up for disappointment. See, motivation isn't emotional. Emotion fluctuate every single day, right? Every day it fluctuates. So unless you could create habits where it's a win-win for you based on the direction you're moving. Because see, if action depends on emotions, action becomes inconsistent. And we know this to be true. See, motivation often comes after action, not before it. So waiting to feel ready keeps people stuck in preparation mode, right? You're going to get to it. Procrastination. I mean, we all suffer from that, right? We're going to get to it. Oh, I got time. Or later. No, you don't rise to the level of motivation. You fall to the level of your habits. I'll repeat that. You don't rise to the level of motivation. You fall to the level of your habits. So you got to reassess yourself on what habits do you need to change? What new habits you need to develop? And what old habits do you need to stop? Only you can make that determination, right? So at first, nothing seems to happen. Then one day you realize you're no longer the same person. And that's how it is for me right now. I literally feel like a different person. I mean, I stand there and I look at myself and, man, is this really Steve? Because I feel different. Why? Because all of these small adjustments, these new habits, these minor changes I'm making every single day. And I assess every hour, every 2 hour, half of my day, I assess the half of my day. Did I accomplish what I set forth to accomplish? Or did I accomplish more than I really set myself to accomplish? You see, did I waste time? Should I have done something different? I reassess, and you have to do that in the course of your day in order to move further, much quicker. See, it's not because of breakthrough moments, it's because you don't quit. Consistency isn't perfection. You'll miss days, you'll slip. That's why you have to assess your day as you go on. So what matters is how quickly you come back. The promise isn't I never fall. The promise is I always get back up. You know, In Les Brown's words, he said, if life knock you down and you fall down, say fall on your back because if you look up, you can get up. And that is so true. And here's the truth most people avoid. You don't need more time, right? We all think we need more time to get things done. That is a lie. You don't need more preparation. You just need to start. In the famous words, and many of you know um, Mr. Art, just do it. Just do it. Art Williams, you guys remember him? Just do it. But Art, that just do it. Guys, you just got to start. See, procrastination isn't laziness. It's fear dressed up as logics. Fear of failing. You guys been there, right? Fear of not being good enough. Fear of starting imperfectly. That was me right there, right? So lower the bar. Lower the bar. 5 minutes, one page, one brick, one small action. See, action creates motivation, not the other way around. And perfectionism, mm-mm. I was that person. I was waiting until things got perfect before I start. And before you know it, a week went by and I still didn't start because it wasn't perfect enough for me. See, that's just procrastination pretending to be high standards. So don't, one of the things as I'm thinking about this right here, how many of us really like, it's like Gary V, many of you know, have heard of Gary V, and he talks a lot about this, that, a lot of us have to wait for the right time and the right setting and the right lighting and the right this and the right that and the right device and the right camera and he said, look, that's just, that's just an excuse to fail. You got a cell phone in your hand, turn it on and just talk. There's your content right there. You didn't need all that. See, done beats perfect. Just do it. Like Art Williams said, just do it every time. So if you want to beat procrastination, stop relying on willpower. Just do it. See, build systems. Don't say, I want to write a book. Say, I write for 30 minutes every morning. Turn dreams into schedules. This is what I'm talking about. Schedules into habits. Habits remove friction, and systems remove excuses. So unless you could create a system for yourself that works, right? Only you can do this for yourself. I'm just giving you ideas. I'm planting seeds in your head. I'm giving you the tools so you can be successful this year. The year is still young. You've got 11 more months that you could apply all this. Systems will remove excuses. And don't fight your environment. Design it. Make the right action easy. Make distractions harder. Your space, your input, your people, they're shaping you whether you admit it or not. Your environment, the people you're around. Look, I'm very, very protective of my circle now. If you're not inspiring, motivated, encouraging, contributing to destiny and where I'm going, you're in the outer part of that circle. Don't get me wrong, you're in my circle, but I got 5 circles. And you're going to fit somewhere in my circles, one of the circles, I'll just put it that way, because I can't allow and I can't afford to allow destiny to be hindered. See, change the environment and the behavior follows. Change the environment and the behavior follows. So here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop asking, how do I feel? Start asking, what's the right action right now? Emotion passes, commitment stays. See, discipline isn't punishment, it's freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from delay, freedom from regret, freedom from starting over again and again, like we do every year, year after year, we're starting over. All right, I didn't get it last year or the year before. I got this year now, and just gonna repeat. It's like a cycle. Every year, you're gonna repeat and repeat. Before you know it, you're what? Well, no pun intended. I mean, I'll be old, but if you're in your 20s, you're in your 30s now, you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, you're in your 70s, you're in your 80s, and you're looking back and go, oh my goodness. I got stuck in this cycle of life like a hamster on the wheel, right? Getting nowhere. Don't be that person. You don't need to be extraordinary. You just need to keep going. See, the people who win aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who don't quit when it gets quiet, boring, or hard. So start small, one brick at a time, one day at a time. Show up and repeat. Rinse and repeat. We've heard that before, right? Not because you feel like it, but because this is who you're becoming. Every moment is a chance to begin again. Not tomorrow. Don't procrastinate, but right now. Like Art Williams said, just do it. Take action. The minute a thought comes in your head that you need to do something, do it. Don't put it off for later or for tomorrow because you're going to forget. Life will take over. You'll get distracted 2 days later. It's like, oh man, I should have done that. In retrospect, right? You're looking back and it's like, wow, that's why I was supposed to do that. But don't be that person. Take action. The minute that thought comes in here, take action. So I'm just going to do a quick recap here. The real question, okay, is why do some people succeed and others quit? Is it luck? Is it talent? Is it motivation? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. See, the real answer is perseverance. Showing up regardless of your mood or circumstances. Like again, every athlete, every cook, every I say chef, every writer, every performer. I mean, a musician. You know, as much as they don't want to go through, you know, the practice and what they have to go through to become who they want to become, but they know they have to. They have no choice. It's about being mediocre or being great. So only you can decide that. See, perseverance isn't dramatic. It's quiet, it's boring, but guess what? It works. And why motivation fails? Because motivation is emotional. We all get motivated and inspired and rah, 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 and we're ready to go. And a day or two, and that just kind of dissipates and the excitement's gone. And then it's like, oh, back to square one, right? Emotion fluctuate, guys. Consistency cannot depend on feelings. Okay, it's like the wind. You can't build a future on something that comes and goes. You can't, unless it's the wind of the Holy Spirit. Then we're talking something different. See, the excitement trap. Most people they start strong, they mean well, their intentions are well, right? New Year's resolutions, they got it all. They're ready. They wrote the goals down. That's all great. But guess what? Life's going to push back. Life's going to happen. Progress is going to stall. And that's where quitting begins. Real quietly, very subtle. And before you know it, you're back in your comfort zone. Back in your comfort zone, looking back. It's kind of like the new year. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to get that gym membership, right? You're all excited. Man, I'm going to look like Mr. Universe or Mrs. Universe. A month in, well, yeah, little tub of ice cream, a couple spoons of ice cream isn't going to hurt, right? Go back to your high carb diet and, you're making excuses. Don't make excuses because that's how quietly and subtly the shifts take place. You mean well. See, we normalize failure without excusing it. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness, just being aware every single day. And that's why I say assess your day before you go to bed. A couple things that I've shifted is, throughout my day, I would assess my day. Okay, what have I done? What could I have shifted, for tomorrow? Because obviously the time is gone. I can't redeem that time. Okay, but then I could make adjustments for the rest of the time for the day. And then what I started doing now is before I go to bed, whatever my plans are or my goals are or whatever I need to prepare for the next day, I rehearse that before I go to bed, right? I wrote out my new roadmap, my ecosystem, if you will, and I've got 6 of them. It's taped to the head of my bed, so I see it before I go to bed. I've got 2 of them around me by the laptop. I've got one on the wall. When I turn on my laptop, I've got it there staring me in the face. Why? Because again, we've got to see it, right? God saw the end from the beginning and then spoke everything into existence. See, and we have that capability within us that if we see it and we speak it and we believe it, guess what, guys? That's That's the power of manifestation. That's why Hebrews 11:1 is one of my favorite scriptures, right? Faith, well, now, because it's about the now, not about the tomorrow. That's what we're talking about, right? Now. And that's even scriptural. Taking action now. Just do it. But now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of those things not yet seen. So this is what I'm talking about, right? It's just being aware. The foundation that actually works is consistency, intensity. Because when you put intensity in the mix of things, right, it's like I'm saying, like I talked about, passion, having a passion for something. But when you have an unstoppable passion, my goodness, that's when you can run through walls and leap over buildings because nothing is going to stop you. Absolutely nothing. It's like you got tunnel vision, man. You got blinders on. You're on a mission and nobody and nothing's going to stop you, right? But again, that's great because that's going to keep you going. But break it down, small action, repeated daily, regardless of your mood. So if I could stress anything, it's about repetition over being a hero, right? So that's, you know, one of the key points of winning and succeeding this year, guys, because if we don't be consistent and if we be honest with ourselves and assess our own self, no one will. No one will. No one will for you, right? So every kept promise matters. The promises you make to yourself. I'm talking about you now, you personally, okay? Every kept promise matters. Self-trust compounds, and confidence is earned, not declared. See, confidence is a side effect of following through. So everything you've written down, like for this year, right, that you want to accomplish for you, or maybe your family or your business or whatever it may be, a relationship or, your health, whatever it may be, right? You've got to stay true to it. Stay true to it. See, successful people win. Why? Because they don't feel ready, they don't feel inspired, they don't show up anywhere. But they do it anyways, right? Consistency is a skill. You've got to learn the skill. You got to practice the skill day in and day out. Not a personality trait. It's not genetic, and it definitely it's trained like a muscle. A bodybuilder, right? You want to bulk up and tone your muscles. You got to train. So look at consistency as a skill that you've got to train. You got to work at. You got to discipline yourself, right? So consider consistency and discipline as a skill that you need to learn. So I'm going to stop share here. There we go. Turn on my camera. All right, there we go. So hopefully, this was at least helpful for each one of you. My heart's desire for each one, is to truly succeed in life, and we have the capability, we have the ability. We were designed, we were created with everything within us, guys. Everything we need is within each one of us. The great I am is who you are. The great I am is who you say you are. So, I often share with people, if you say I am sick, well, guess what? Who are you going to blame for what you just said? Anything you put after I am, you are. If you say I am healthy, guess what? You are healthy. It's like the divine assistants, the angels are just waiting for your command, right? So everything you say is like giving them that right or wrong. They don't know any different. So take life and look at, all the goals and aspirations, everything, whatever it is in life that you are hoping to accomplish for this year. And, use these tools from the last 2 weeks on preparation and execution, because it's truly about execution each day. Um, that's right. Amen, Debbie. Many of you know me, and the ones who don't, you ask me how I'm doing. I have one answer, and for decades has been my answer, right? I'll give you the long version. I am exceedingly and abundantly blessed and highly favored. I am a dominionaire. I live in dominion. So am I just saying words? No, I'm not just saying words. I know what I'm saying. It's a declaration, right? I'm decreeing and declaring that. So I encourage each one of you to practice this. I talked last week about, looking at yourself in the mirror and really finding the true you, looking deep into your soul and pulling you out of you, right? You're in there. The true you, not this earth suit, but the true you is inside you. So you got to find you. And once you do that and you understand who you are, who you truly are in God, who you were created to be, right? It says we were created in his image and his likeness. So what is his likeness? What is his image? Well, first of all, his image is a spirit, because last time I read the word, it says we were created two times. We were created in his likeness, his image. And then further down, he took the dirt from the earth and formed man and blew into man, right? Breath, and man became a living soul. So we are two parts, right? Spirit and a body with a soul. So when we understand the three, like God the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, right? Once we understand the three and we understand the purpose of all three, we'll understand us much better. You see, we'll understand who we truly are, the spirit of who we are, our soul, and then this is just the earth suit, right? So why am I sharing this? To encourage you that you are more than you really think you are. And you're more capable of what you think you're capable of doing. So just dig deep within to find you. And with this training here, I just hope that you apply it, because really, guys, yeah, just do it. I don't want next month to come for you and you're not accomplishing the things you set forth to accomplish, or then you're in March and then you're in April and May and June, and here it is December again, guys. And you go back on Facebook, I have videos from back in 2023. I keep saying the same thing in January, guys. The year is gonna end, and we're gonna be saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And we're going to leap right into another year. Here we are into 2026, literally about to step into 2027. So, don't look back with regrets and disappointments, because you have time now to make all the right adjustments, create new habits to where it's a win-win for you and your family and your future. There's a lot happening in the world right now. I mean, a lot of shifts and a lot of changes are happening. I talk about awareness in this training. You have to be aware of what's going on, and you have to use wisdom and make the right changes. One of my prayer every morning is that I pray for, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and discernment, because those are the four things that Solomon asked for. When God says, Solomon, I'll give you whatever you want, he just wanted those four. And because he asked for those four, God gave him everything else. But with those four, I tell you what, it'll help you, right? Because once you have, I'm talking about just life in general, or business, or just whatever, right? Once you have the knowledge of a thing, whatever it may be, you'll get a greater understanding. And with a greater understanding, you'll make wiser decisions, right? For life. And then when you apply discernment on top of it, then now you've got that intuition, that spirit of God, that know it within you, right? Guiding you too. So you're not making wrong decisions. You're not relying on just your own, natural self, right? You're allowing something greater than you to guide you and show you. But you're doing your part by getting understanding, right? Getting the knowledge so you get an understanding and making wiser decisions. So, all right, with that, I just want to thank everyone